Well, it was called Arctic Frost, a covert plan by the Biden administration to target conservative organizations and Christian ministries. They used the FBI to do their dirty work. Americans accused of radicalism for simply praying to Christ. Now, among the groups the FBI investigated, none other than Turning Point USA.
You know, in the Biden administration, we went through a very dark and difficult period of time. The FBI trust was broken with the people. Catholics were, this is the stuff we've been talking about, were labeled radical threats for praying in their churches with their rosaries. Parents at school boards were called terrorists for standing up for their children. Hindu holy men in New Jersey. We have the largest Hindu temple in the world. They were attacked. They were put up against the wall with guns to their heads. So it isn't just a Catholic or Christian thing. American Jews were targeted in colleges and universities, and a lot of folks in the FBI, in the past FBI, not this one, didn't give a damn. We can't go back to targeting religion. We can't go back to silencing free speech.
All right, joining me now, the man delivering that passionate message, Congressman Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey. Congressman, good to have you with us. I wish I could tell you I'm surprised by this, but it's just insane. And I'm curious, what exactly were they looking at when it came to Charlie Kirk?
Well, let me tell you, just in general, we were a whisper away from losing America. Because America, the concept of the United States of America, is based upon freedom of speech. That's the most important. All the amendments to the Constitution are important, but that is the most important one. And of course, Charlie Kirk, what did he talk about? Faith, family, freedom. And there were people in key positions in the FBI that were opposed to those thoughts and thought they were going to crack down and make it uncomfortable. So it was Charlie Kirk, and you were moving kids in colleges and going to universities, and he was unafraid. He told the truth. He told what he believed. But I tried to spell out there in that clip that you had, it happened to many people. It wasn't even only Christians. It was religious Hindus who don't bother anybody in their temple. And that was right in New Jersey. It was god-awful what they did to them because they weren't fitting into the typecast that they had. You know, thank God those days are over. I pray to God we never go back to them. But what is frightening is how damn close we got. We have to definitely always protect that First Amendment. We've got to keep our America. We've got to keep our country.
Congressman, when you look at what happened to Charlie Kirk and the aftermath of it, so many millions of kids, young people especially, that are stepping up and they're standing up and they're being vocal about their beliefs. The left doesn't want them to do that, but God love these young people.
Well, the left made a mistake here. They assumed that people were going to crawl up on a ball and hide in their bedrooms, that they wouldn't stand up, that they wouldn't be unafraid, but they are. It's gotten to the point, and people ask me, do you worry about getting shot? No, be unafraid. Stand up for faith, family, and freedom. Stand up for America. Young people have a renewed energy. They understand how important this is, and you're not going to stop it. We have our right to believe in those American values that are so important to us, and they tried to do everything they could to quell it, to stop it. They still do. They're trying different mechanisms. They do it by, social networking, what's going on the different platforms on the internet. There's still things going on. Look what is happening in the United Kingdom. Look what's happening in the European Union. If you express a viewpoint that is different than the woke, left-wing, agnostic, atheist viewpoint that they want, they're going to go after you. And we've got to be careful that doesn't spread to the United States, because the internet goes to everyone. We're going to stand strong. We're going to be unafraid. We're going to stand up for what's right. We're going to stand up for America, for everyone, across all faiths, all religions, all ideas, to be able to speak and express themselves freely. That is the beauty and the greatness of America. And by the way, when we allow all that, America, democracy, the republic, this nation will always prevail.
Yeah, look, I want to shout out the national anthem and to wave a flag by what you just said, Congressman. But the reality is, at this hour, you have a political party called the Democrats And they are out there trying to blame President Trump for this, trying to accuse Charlie Kirk's murderer of being MAGA. They're out there saying absolutely harass conservatives wherever they are. You know, they're telling us we got to start singing Kumbaya, but the other side wants to shoot all of us singing Kumbaya. How do we fix that?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, first we have to establish a set of rules. That's what we're changing. That's what we're doing in the FBI, in the Department of Justice, throughout our government, that everybody who is doing what is right, and by that I mean is not threatening people's lives, is not inciting violence, is not committing violence, has a right to say and believe what they want to do. And we have to stop what they are doing on the left, which is not telling the truth. I want to come together. I love people. But at this point in time, this is a time where we have to stand up. We have to stand tall. We have to believe in what we say and do, and we have to keep that faith, family, and freedom. I keep saying that over and over again. So at this time and in this place, our job number one is to make sure when lies are told, we tell the truth, to make sure that when we're about to lose America, we don't let that happen again, and that we keep America. In other words, we've got to do our job. We have a job to do in Congress. Be unafraid. I keep saying that, but I really mean it. And if you think, I'll just speak for myself now, that I'm going to step back, or I'm going to be weak, or I'm going to crawl up in the fetal position and be afraid because of all the pressure, you're wrong, and they're wrong. We're going to be stronger than ever. Keep up the attacks and we're going to get stronger. So it's time to establish America as it's always been, and then to maybe then, when they recognize that, maybe then, but only then, we can come together.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Congressman, and I really do hope that your colleagues across the aisle listen to what you have to say there. We've got to leave it there. Congressman, thank you.